Mic check, mic check.
Wouldn't mind a rest.
Okay, gonna keep going here. Took a bit of took a little bit longer to finish my break than I had intended, but we're back, and hopefully, I think this is gonna be where we're gonna wrap up the our Torment 1 to 4 journey. And when I say here is where, what I mean is that um, I'm gonna try to gear up by finishing off the remaining. I just have to get the additional bonus on this and finish maxing out my glyphs. I might try to do a few Infernal Horde compasses just so that I get enough gem fragments. Um, yeah, get enough gem fragments that would allow me to finish getting my glyphs up to 46. So, yeah, those are the things that I'm planning to do here. And in fact, I need to smash these emeralds just so that I can get a more accurate count of how many gem fragments I actually have. So this is... Each of these is 10k, so... There, 24,000. So I need 6,000 gem fragments to cap out, really. Okay, I'm gonna go hit 50. I think my resistances are still pretty good, so I'm just gonna go in. Okay, so this run should get my glyphs up to, like, all my glyphs should be 46 after this run, and I should be able to level up maybe once or twice. Try to get my glyphs up just a bit more. At this point, we're trivializing the content with with my boss power. After this after this run, I'm gonna start using my boss power to try to clear pit 55. I think that's what it's gonna boil down to. I think, like I mentioned the last time I played this character, I did like masterworking, right? Yeah, like I did masterworking up to like rank 4 and all my equipment. I had like my witch powers, some of the bonuses were like up to max. Yeah, etc. Hold on a second. Okay, hold on a second. There. So, right now, my boss power is hitting for like... it says 266 mil just now, but that's not even the highest damage number I've seen. I think the highest damage number I've seen is like 600. 600 mil. I just saw 387, right? When it comes time to run... yeah, when it comes time to run Pit 55, like, my boss power is going to carry me. I could probably already run it right now. I don't actually need to go through all this trouble, but I want to go through all this trouble because when I finish Pit 55, I'm going to be talking about my character and what I did to get it to clear Torment 4. But the problem is that if in the live servers they nerf a whole bunch of stuff for this build, then I want people to still be able to use it. I need people to still be able to use this build, even with the nerfs. So I'm gonna probably spend a fair bit of time talking about adjustments or ways to improve the build further, or to like up the damage. Um, in the event that your boss powers are like not, in case you either don't want to rely on boss powers for your build, which would be, I mean, you could. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this actually. I really like how the boss powers look. I like that they're strong. I don't think that I don't want them to be strong though to the point where every build is using them as a conduit to do the most amount of damage that they can. And yeah, like next season is coming up pretty soon, and I don't want to be playing Harbinger of Hatred Volley on every single character class on every single build. That's what I'm concerned that the game is gonna devolve into. We're getting pretty close to that point. With these numbers, like I've said this in past hours, but I'm just trying to get my thoughts out because this is my final run. This is I'm not gonna be at this for too much longer. Like I just have to do this run, get the gem fragments, like I said, and then that's it. That's the end. I'm gonna be in Torment 4 after that. Yeah, there's not really all that much left for us to do here. Anyway, in terms of the build though, going back to my comparison from last season. So last season, I had the witch powers. Some of them were ranked up for like an additional bonus. Um, I had all my glyphs up to like rank 46. I had, well, actually no, I didn't have all my glyphs at rank 46. I had like 3 glyphs ranked 46, same as what I'm doing here. I had kind of like what I was like around Paragon 150, similar to what I am at right now. Oh, there's actually a path down here. And then I had all the tempering recipes. I had my ancestral weapons with the right rolls for the most part. I didn't have any uniques to speak of, but I also had masterworking at rank 4 at the time. This time around, okay. This time around, I don't really have... I still have all of my items at rank 4. This is like the same setup as what I had last season. But overall, I feel weaker. And I think that if you want to get the strength of this build, like minus the boss powers, to how it felt last season, then you would need to get rid of... You would need to get rid of the... Well, I mean, if you remove the boss powers, then you'd have to actually get some more masterworking ranks. So probably like rank 8 instead of like rank 4 or something. I want to say maybe even a bit more, but I don't think you need to go past masterworking rank 8, to be honest. Yeah, if anything, you would just need to keep boosting up your glyphs. Yeah, there we go. There's an ancestral ring. Dexterity, lucky hit, and fire resistance. I have so much fire resistance as it is, so why can't they give me something other than fire resistance? Okay, so now you have 3. Are all 3 of these? All 3 of these require emerald fragments. All right. Well, I'm gonna level versatility first, I guess. And now I just need to go get some gem fragments. Yeah, if I had more gem fragments, then I'd be okay. Like, I could smash these ones, but I still wouldn't have enough. The most... The most I'd be able to do is... I could have done this one. Intelligence and pride. This one requires intelligence, this one requires strength. Actually, wait. I just realized something. If I go back to town, is there a way to convert gem fragments into other gem fragments? If so, that might be a way. I remember that was a thing, wasn't it? I don't think I've done that yet. That might actually save me a great deal of trouble. Gem fragments, here it is. Materials granted 200, so... Yeah, here... So I already have an amethyst, I already have a topaz. So here, if I up the number of gem fragments I have... Actually, no, let me even take it a step further. Let's do 100. 20,000. Actually, I can figure out how much I need. If it grants me 20,000 fragments, then it's simple math. I just need 21,000 gem fragments. So I need 105. Yeah, okay. Here's a good conversion. 30,000 gem fragments, because it's 15k for each glyph upgrade. So, yeah, this is good. This is good. I'm going to try to run one last one. Okay, this saves me hours of trouble. In the past, I've always just farmed gem fragments from... Well, I don't think I've ever really been... I don't think I've ever been held out on gem fragments, but it's kind of a good thing that I realized I could do that, because then I don't have to run like another half hour to hour worth of infernal hordes. Okay. What other damage bonuses am I missing that I can get? Okay, wait a second. Yeah, my damage is still going up. Oh, I know what I could get. I could actually get Tybalt's. I should get Tybalt's, I think. I am always unstoppable, so it's like a direct 20% damage boost. I don't know. I don't think I have a Tybalt's lying around, though. Yeah, maybe I could, like... I'm gonna take a look at my current pants in a second. Yeah, I'm not really... I mean, I'm kind of timing my run, though. I want to actually see how quickly I can clear this. This is pit 50, the same as in the previous runs. But suddenly I feel like I do, like, way more damage. Just because, I mean, after upgrading the one glyph. I'm not sure why that is. Oh, there. What? He's still alive after that. For 20 million. Alright. Okay. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, this might be my fastest pit 50 clear yet. I mean, it should be. It would be expected because I have more damage on this run than previous runs, but not used to... Like, I think in my previous runs I have like 10 minutes left on the clock, but here I think we're saving like a minute, maybe a minute and a half. This was a good map, good rolls on where the monsters are and everything. And also, I'm being very deliberate about my use of Frost Nova. The number of healing potions I have is going right back up too. Oh, there, done. 11.5 minutes left on the clock. Yep. 684 million, and we finally have the means to upgrade this to legendary. All right, that makes one to legendary, and then another one up to legendary. There we are, and one, two. Okay, all of my glyphs are rank 46 now officially. I'm gonna try to run one more just so I can see. Just so I can see, like, if I can feel the overall damage difference. Um, and then after this run, I kind of want to try to aim for Tybalts. I still have some Obels. And at first I was thinking to do rings, but I actually think Tybalts might be better in this case. Yeah, this was like 10 and a half. A 10.5 minute run, wow. Previous record was like 9.5. Alright. Oh, and I have 2 extra Paragon points too that I can put into strength. Oh, this is looking pretty good. So 3 more Paragon points will allow me to unlock um, the additional bonus for this. Then I get increased physical damage, so that helps my Dance of Knives. It doesn't really help my volley though. Okay, let me try this run with the Harbinger volley thing first. Alden actually taught. Wait, there's a bugged OP monster power. Which monster power is bugged? Okay, I want to actually see if. Oh, I need to know.
I can cure what ails you.
I can upgrade this all the way to max if I want. Okay. Oh, Storm of the Wilds. I don't need that one though. I just need this. Redamine Buzz. I still have enough for that. That's good. And Spiral Morning. Okay, I'm lucky that I can still craft these. I still have enough for this, but I don't have enough for the next potion, which is okay. Oh, okay. So apparently all builds with Andy modifier and you're set, and that it's bugged, giving like 10 times what it should be. So I don't know if that's the same with Harbinger of Hatred's volley, but to be fair, Dance of Knives is. Oh, I don't know actually. I don't know. Like, I don't think that this power is bugged. I think it's just very strong. Okay. Gonna put these on now. Just gonna try to amp up my damage as high as it can go. This is with all of my powers, or all my glyphs. All my glyphs at legendary bonus. I mean, I'm getting only like an extra, roughly 10% damage increase on this, but could be good. I assume that monster died. Yeah. Okay. All right. Gonna head up north. Not too bad. Okay. Yeah, I kind of want to get my Tybalt, but I don't know where I'd even be finding that. And if I do get Tybalts, I'd have to sub out my current pants for. I never actually did take a look at what my pants are. Incinerate and Burning? Why did it... I don't feel like Incinerate really needed a buff. Like, I feel like it was fine, wasn't it? It was like one of the stronger builds. If I remember right. Like, it has so much raw damage output, and... I mean, I don't know if anyone would complain about survivability. Like, yeah, you need to stand still, but... Girl, I'm out of potions. I've been spamming it too much. Just gonna keep generating myself some potions. Oh, oops. It's stuck here. I do feel like my damage has gone up significantly, though. Like, I think that even without my power, I can actually still clear Pit 50. I could probably still clear a Pit 50 with this. Now that all my glyphs are looking quite good. Okay, just keep spinning, spinning. Okay. Keep running here. There we are. And then down to the bottom left. Okay. And I think after this pack, it should be done. I get an additional 13% multiplicative damage on my glyph that's coming up, but I think that for that one... Ooh, okay. Did that. But then for that glyph, I'm only getting 13% physical damage, which does help with Dance of Knives, but not so much the boss power, which is doing most of the damage. Okay. So I don't think I mind that I don't have it. I do still have an available point. I need to run one more, just so that I get... Yeah, I'm probably gonna need to run one more of these, just so I can level up and get my last glyph maxed. This is fine. I mean, it's okay for me to run one more because I wanted to test the damage on Pit 50 without my boss power anyway. Yeah, I'll use a power that seems a bit more balanced. I think the Zir pool is pretty balanced, but to be fair, that one's also like rank. It's like one of the lower ranks, right? Like rank 1. I didn't bother to up it at all. Okay. Alright. Okay, so rank or Paragon level 148. Just gonna get one more point here. This is dexterity node. This is dexterity. Okay, well, just trying to see what I'm missing out on that side, but okay. Oh wait, pants. So these are my pants right now. I could afford to get rid of these for Tybalt's 20% more damage. Yeah, it would be really nice. I might consider it, but I don't know if I'd swap this out for... I guess I would swap it out for a non-ancestral Tybalt's. There's not really anything about this that I need. I don't even need the fire resist on it. I'm like way overcapped on fire res. I think I'll try for it. I'll salvage everything and I'll try to gamble real quick. Tibalts. Okay. Oh, wait, first try. Oh, no, wait. I'm looking for Tibalts, not a.
Hello, shining beauty.
They're just giving me random eyes in the dark. Just uniques. What's this one? Oh, hey, we finally found one that has dexterity and max life. So I'll probably switch to this if. Yeah, I'll probably end up switching to that one.
My hammer sings on your return.
Where's my Tibalts? More pants.
Hello, shining beauty. Too bad, friend.
No Tibalts. No Tibalts at all. This is kind of a cool one. Resistance to all elements, but then again, don't really need resistance to all elements since my resistances are capped even. Well, yeah, my resistances are like more than capped at this point. Yeah, I think I'll get rid of everything else. Invigorating strike. Do I have the masterworking materials one yet? I'm a little short from it, fortunately. Well, it's okay. I guess it just means that I'll need to run one. I need to run like a nightmare dungeon really quickly. To boost up my pants. Yeah, I was really hoping for Tibalt. I'll make a note of that. That's like a pretty easy way to boost damage if you can get pretty much any Tibalts, really. The other option too is that I run through my boss materials, like used to open Duriel's Horde requires 4. I might actually do it. I want to actually show this build the level of power that you can use to clear Torment 4 without having to rely on these boss powers, or without having to rely on this volley carrying me. Okay, I'm gonna do Zero's Blood Pool. Or maybe I'm just gonna take off the power altogether. I'm kind of curious, like, if I don't have a boss power, then that means that this will be pretty much useless for this, or for the run. But still, I want to know. I want to know if I can take it on without these boss powers. I bet I could, though. Guess we find out. Oh, this feels bad. I'll be honest, this feels pretty terrible. I don't know how else to put it. Yeah, this feels pretty awful. I mean, I know that I have like 1 dead power, but I didn't think that it would be this big of a gap. Oh, I have no potions either. Okay, let me try to do this run again. Hopefully, I don't think it's gonna make a difference. I think that my current level of power is just way too low. What's my ring at? This is pretty bad. I have all my elixirs up and potion and everything. So okay, we're gonna try, or I'm gonna try one more run here. I don't think it'll make a difference, but oh, I came back here for potions. Whoops. Let me switch it out. Really? Wow. I mean, this makes me feel a lot better regarding my companion druid. My companion druid, even without this insane boss power, he was still able to make it to Torment 4. Well, I mean, even in his case, though, he actually had... I don't think he was using the execute power. Actually, I don't remember if he was using the execute power or not, but... either way. Okay, try this. Yeah. I actually do no damage. I have all my aspects. That's the craziest thing. Um, I guess it sort of makes sense that I can't do any damage to these guys because I remember in the campfire chat they said that Torment 4, Torment 4 is supposed to be the equivalent of Pit 76, so it wouldn't make much sense for me to be able to clear Torment 4 so easily with the same level of power as what I had last season. Not to mention that last season I also had the witch powers at my disposal. Hmm. I don't think I've killed a single monster here. Yeah, I stand no chance. I actually stand no chance. It'll take me forever to kill these guys. Wow, that's crazy. The witch powers are hard carrying me through all this. Yeah, pretty much every build that I make is like, I guarantee you that it has to be the witch powers or the boss powers that I'm gonna use to get through it all. I can farm Torment 3 on this, I'm pretty sure, without my boss powers here. I'm gonna try toning it down just a bit. I could probably do Pit 45, I bet. Like, very slowly, granted, but I bet I could do Pit 45. But I don't think I can... Like, in order to run Pit 50, I need to make a number of adjustments that I just don't think I have the, Oh, that's still so painful. I actually tickle them. Do no damage. Well, I can injure them, unlike with the previous run. But I still do ridiculously low amounts of damage at the end of the day. At this point, the execute would have killed them by now too. This is actually kind of crazy. Just how little damage I do on this pit run. Yeah, like I said, I can handle pit 40 on this, sure. I don't know if I can do it quickly without the boss power, but this just goes to show just how much the boss power is contributing here. You can see, yeah, okay, I'm barely matching the clock right now. Yeah, I'm not sure what to say here. I'm barely hitting for like 1.4 million per dagger, and I can send like, let's say like 5 of them a second. But meanwhile, one wave or one volley is like 600 million, or well, I mean, low end is like 100 million. So I'm actually getting 20 times the amount of damage from this. Everything that I do from here on out in this PTR is going to be centered around the boss powers. Like, this is probably going to be disappointing for a lot of people when the season goes live, but I'm going to have to do my best to make sure that the most I can do is emphasize that without these boss powers, probably have to do a lot more grinding to get your gear up and going. Like, Torment 4 actually does seem a lot more challenging now with the more off-meta builds, and kind of don't... Personally, I don't like that, but I mean, that's the direction they're taking, so... do. So... I want to go get a Tybalt's, though. I do think that it would be a good idea for me to go get Tybalt's, so I'm going to do that. I know that I could certainly clear Pit 55 at this point, but I actually want to show this character in such a way where if for some reason they nerf the boss powers into the ground, then at least you have some sort of guideline for where to go next, I think is my goal here. Okay, go to Grigor. Let me actually make sure that my power is equipped too. Yeah, okay. Why do I feel so slow? Or did they slow me down? I actually have a way to get to No, I don't have a way to get max movement speed. I'm at like 191% right now, which is still good enough, I think. Normally, I would strongly recommend running 200% movement speed, but okay. Whoa, wait, hold on. What do I do? No damage here. I had the boss power equipped, right? Well, okay. Do I take any damage from him? I take like no damage. Like this is. Oh, okay. Now I'm starting to take a lot more damage. Yeah, my damage is not enough to kill these bosses on T3 unless I use the boss powers. Like everything is boss power oriented. Like, whoa. Oh, actually got Grigwar's lightning square. Here. Hmm. Alright. 12 living steel. I'll try it. Why not? I think that Belial could show up from this, but either way. Call of the Nameless. Increased lucky hit chance. Oh, that's for lucky hit chance. I don't think I need that. Tax. In place of this helm, I could actually use, what is that aspect called? Or that unique. I could use Godslayer Crown. Yeah, I feel like maybe Godslayer Crown or something of that sort would be a good option. Yeah, I'm gonna switch the Torment difficulty. I don't relish the idea of running like all of these on Torment 3. Like it's such a waste of time. But the one thing I will say though is I think on Torment 3 here, at least I have a higher chance of getting even one ancestral legendary from these. Otherwise they show up as 750s. Depending on which unique we're looking at, it's probably it's more valuable to get a 750 item power unique than it is to get an 800 item power or like an ancestral legendary, right? So yeah, a regular unique is more. That's what I'll probably end up calling it. A regular unique is more valuable in some cases than an ancestral legendary, depending on which unique we're talking about. Like, I think for my companion druid is the best example I could think of. I would much rather have any Storm's companion just because the it makes the wolves into a lightning AoE attack, which is just much better. Like, look at that. And three-shot him with my boss power. What if I were to hit him with my regular Dance of Knives? I think it would have taken a lot longer. These boss fights are actually feel like actual boss fights now, with how difficult they are to bring down. This is a Godslayer crown? Okay, well, sure. Yeah. And considering what I said earlier, too, I kind of am questioning whether or not it might even be better to put this on and just get bonus damage that way in place of one of these powers. Like, I could probably get away with not having this crowded sage aspect because I don't even really dodge all that much. I kind of like having this because it's a nice roll, but I don't need that. I don't even need this concealment aspect either. I could run Tybalt's and Godslayer Crown and then get rid of this aspect and then replace it with Juggernauts. I think that's the best way to go about it right now. Okay. I'm gonna summon another Grigwar here. And actually, this is a good chance for me to test not having this either. Because I'm genuinely curious to see. Yeah, I can still do damage to this one, though. In Torment 2, I'm actually still able to kill him without the boss power. It's not like running Pit 50 just now, where that took, like, forever. Yeah, but now suddenly Eclipse does kill him instantly with this. 12 living steel. Okay, this should give me Shard of Agony, right? Theo. Okay, there's the Shard of Agony. How many more of these can I run? I can only run 3 anyway, so I'm gonna go over and try to run Duriel real quick. Lyle's Horde. Oh, Lyle. I want to get some drops from him. I hope he gives me my bolts. Wait, is he dead? Oh, he's dead. Oh, oops. Gloves and a Watt rune. Oh, okay. Watt rune is nice, but I already have an execute, so I don't think I care too much. 3 to marksman and cutthroat skills. And this gives attack speed too. A marksman or cutthroat skill. This is a cutthroat skill, right? So this is actually... this might be better than my existing gloves, but... I'm just debating whether this might be better. Shadow clones execute injured non-elite enemies. Okay, well I don't care about... I don't think I care for that. But extra attack speed and plus marksman and cutthroat skills might be good. 106. 128k. That's a pretty massive damage increase, actually. I think it might even be worth getting rid of my current gloves for. I'd lose out on quite a bit of damage, but maybe I'd just replace inner calm. I don't need inner calm. I can just swap that one out for this aspect. Yeah, no joke. This might be the way to go. Ah, is this a new unique? I actually wouldn't know. Okay, I'm not subbing out my current boots though. That one's have to keep that. It's got Dance of Knives. Increase damage to distant enemies. Oh. Ah, this was the item I was looking at before, where Rain of Arrows is always imbued with all imbuements. That was the one I was talking about with people previously. Godslayer Crown. Okay, well, I should run all the boss mats, I think. Originally, I was just gonna go straight to Duriel, but if I run some more of these, there's a chance that I might be able to get Tybalt as a drop from Belial if he shows up. So maybe I'll just do that real quick. I do agree with other people that I don't want to wait this like super long for him to show up. Unique ring, Shard of Agony. Oh, of course the unique ring is Mother's Embrace. Owl of the Nameless. Alright, done here. Yeah? Yeah. Lose out on... How much life did I lose? An extra 500 life. Lost out on 200 dexterity. Oh, maybe a little bit more even. This does increase the base damage on my Dance of Knives, so... this is still pretty good. Okay, this is my last run of Gregoire. There we are. Yeah, sometimes big guy shows up and sometimes he doesn't. Skills has a chance to do stun grenades. I don't really have stun grenades. This is a much worse version of my current gloves. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I'm pretty much out of living steels to open stuff up with anyway, so I could either run Duriel or Varshan. Also run Uravar too. There's a lot of things I can run. I'm just gonna do Duriel though, because I'm gonna go Malignant Burrow first, might as well. Um, I want to get one more Shard of Agony. I think the way they reworked the boss ladder, now I have to fight Varshan and Grigor to get Shards of Agony, right? Oh, yeah. And if that's the case, then there's a chance that I might be able to spawn 2 Duriels. So I don't want to have to run all the way there and then run all the way back. I like the way they've reworked it though. At least that saves us a lot of time about like running back and forth from area to area. It's more about just taking these fights and not about how long it takes for you to run there. Okay, silenced Varshan here. And where's the there it is. Gloves and bow. Zan rune. Stygian stone. I think these Stygian stones are for... Yeah. Yeah, okay. I can turn these into... I can actually turn these into other boss materials. I kind of like that. I like that they've given us that option. Yeah, I'm kind of liking this rework, honestly. Except... I feel like some builds are going to be much more difficult to put together now. Even though they should already be... Like, players should have access to them as core builds. No, it's Eyes in the Dark, not Tybalt's. Increased fire damage to chilled enemies. Increased cold damage to burning enemies. So, it's funny because this season I could totally run this. There's a good excuse to run this because of my Harbinger's Volley. This thing, like, if I really wanted to, like, max out on my boss powers, this would be the item to do it right now. And I think, in fact, that... Oh, no, Lilith's Wind of Hate is a physical damage skill, though. Okay. Alright, Shard of Agony, Betrayer's Husk. I'll run one more of these. Condemnation. Oh. There. Two-shotted. Alright. Oh, more unique pants. More unique pants that I don't need.
They were nothing. Did you truly think all of this would be that easy?
Alright.
You think you won? This is just the beginning.
Okay, so we brought down Belial here. More Betrayer's Husks. I like that he gives the husks sometimes multiple of them so then you can actually decide what thing you want to convert them into. That's kind of a cool idea. When spending 3 combo points. I don't really spend combo points and I don't really use core skills, so I'm gonna head back here and leave the dungeon. I'm gonna sell all my items and then I can probably go to the
It is done.
Okay, Greater Collection of Helms, Chaos, and Rings. I'm gonna do the Greater Collection of Helms. I need Rings and Chaos more, but I'd rather... Okay, here. Yeah. I would prefer the Greater Collection because I feel like I get better items out of these overall. Yeah. Yeah, I don't need any of these.
The forge is off.
Each of these are like, what, 188k? A full inventory of them, so... Got like 2, maybe 3 million out of that. Okay, so Duriel's power, right? Heading to Duriel? No, that's Andariel. Fields of Judgment? Aberrant Heart. What's Aberrant Heart for? That's Harbinger, right? I'm just trying to. Okay, hold on. Let me take a look at this again one more time. So, Lyle's Horde, Betrayer's Husk. I found the Dream resides in Palace of the Deceiver. Shard of Agony, Living Steel, Stygian Stone. So this is for any type. This is for Urivar, Hatred. Okay, I think I get it now. I remember now. So Harbinger of Hatred is supposed to be the new big boss, and then he actually, uh, when I open his chest, he gives me. I think I'm allowed to select it. I guess I'll try it out. Um, yeah, I'll actually try it out. Burned Ritual. Okay. Oh, there we are. Okay. Hey, Urivar's lob bombs are unlocked. I won't get to try out all of them, unfortunately, but Eyes in the Dark, Penitent Greaves. Why do I feel like I found Eyes in the Dark like a bunch of times? You deal more damage to chilled enemies. Yeah, this could be another good source of multiplicative damage, except Dance of Knives is, of course, going to be better. Did Belial show up? No, he didn't. Okay, well, I'm going to go... I guess I'll go fight Duriel then. I can... Like, what other things can I open? I don't have many Pincushion dolls. Those are supposed to be, like, Beast in the Ice and all that. Belial's Horde. Apart from Belial, who sometimes ambushes. Okay, interesting. I just don't know what Belial himself drops. In this case. Duriel. Go to the Gaping Crevice. Hey, Aaron. What's up? Well, nothing much, just running bosses. I could have already cleared the, Duriel, or I could have already made it to pit, 55 and I would have been done by now, but, I took a look at just how much damage my build is doing without the boss powers, and I don't like it. Because if they nerf the boss powers, then I'm in some serious trouble with this build for next season. Or at least other people would be. So I want to take some time to better understand, like, what other adjustments can be made to amp up the damage so that we're not entirely reliant on these crazy boss powers. He still does take a sizable amount of damage. A little slower than Grigor, but... Okay. Ooh, a lot of damage. Oh wait, no, he has 2 phases. I can't just instantly kill him, because there is a point where he stopped taking damage. I wonder. So they added, like, phases to this fight, so you can't just instantly delete him anymore. You gotta know how to avoid it, or have enough DR to survive. Well, that's something. Okay. Shards of Agony. Crown of Lucian. Don't really need that. Banished Lord's Talisman. Alright. Okay, I'll spawn another one in. Or Sean's Horde. Oh, there goes the first phase. I mean, I could just wait here, right? I'll just stay in the corner and try to avoid getting hit. I could actually run this. This would spawn Andy. Just don't know where to get this from. Aberrant Heart. Oh, that's a close one. I think Harbinger of Hatred is like... I think Belial and Urivar are the ones that we're supposed to run to get some other... Like uh, Varshan and Grigor were the ones who were giving me these. Pincushion Doll. So this is supposed to be between Aberrant Hearts. Oh man, they make it so confusing now. Oh, I need to actually clear these. I thought that... Okay, so they changed the way the fight works. Usually Duriel spawns anyway. Like, I have to kill... Or even if I don't kill the Pangs, he would still spawn. But they've changed that. I have to kill all the Pangs now before he shows up, and I don't know where my boss power is. That's another thing too, like why is my boss power not showing? Sometimes it just doesn't activate for some reason. Oh. Yeah, it's probably a good thing that I'm learning all these, all of this now before I make my next character. Okay, so let me try to organize my thoughts on this. I have... Oh yeah, there's also Zir. So, Zir... Just gonna make room here so that this makes sense to me. Varshan's Horde. So this is for Varshan. This is for Grigor. And then they create... Oh wait, this is from Grigor. Living Steel. Okay, here. So Varshan and Grigor make a Shard of Agony for Duriel. Or boss mats. Aberrant Heart. We need these two to make a Pincushion Doll, right? Yeah, Beast in the Ice and Lord Zir's Horde to get Dariel's Horde. Only found from layer boss hordes. Yep, that makes sense. Then we have Betrayer's Husk. Can do... Oh, did I not open this chest here? Make sure I do. Chest armor and pants. Do I still not have Tybalt's after all this time? Oh, there's Tybalt's. It was a low roll Tybalt's, unfortunately for me, but yeah, that's kind of what I had in mind for if we wanted to boost our damage some. So at least I don't have to keep spamming runs of this. Actually show how all this operates, except I was hoping that it would be like a 20% roll rather than a 10% roll. I still have... Yep. Okay, so this guy doesn't have a second phase. Betrayer's Husk. More Betrayer's Husks. And these Betrayer's Husks are used for Belial. Now, if I were to guess... Open Harbinger of Hatred. Commonly found from lair boss hordes. Fields of Judgment. Fields of Judgment is for Urivar. This is for all of them. So... Yeah, I get almost everything except for... Like, I don't know... Like, still get that Shard of Agony and Pincushion Doll, those still work the same way, but I think that they're supposed to be, like, a big boss, right? I don't remember if that's Harbinger of Hatred or if that's Belial. That's the thing I'm trying to figure out here. I guess I could try to run Belial real quick to find out, just so that I know for sure. Kedgistan, right? It's Kedgistan. Oh, I think I saw it. Oh, there's that Grigor. That's Grigor. I'm pretty confused. Where do I fight Belial then? Palace of the Deceiver in Kedgistan. Hangman's Hall, Grigwar. Am I crazy? I straight up don't see where I can fight Duriel. Also use Flicker Step, but I don't need that. Burnt Heart. So these Stygian Stones are used to convert into any of the other boss materials that I would want, and they spawn from the Belial fight. I think they show up whenever I kill either Belial or one of the bosses. But this Harbinger of Hatred's Horde. Oh, okay. I think I figured it out. These aberrant hearts come from taking out Duriel, or they're supposed to come from taking out Duriel. Duriel or Andariel, or I think Belial. Yeah, Belial's Horde. Okay, I think I'm starting to get the hang of this. So Stygian Stones are their own separate thing. Trying to figure this all out. Sorry if anyone is getting bored from me trying to make sense of how the game has changed since last time. Okay, so yeah, I just want to be able to run this thing. Belial's Horde and Palace of the Deceiver. I just don't know where that would be. I think I checked Harbinger already. I did Gaping Crevice. Is there some area that I'm not aware of? This is Fields of Judgment. I already went there too. Shava and Beast in the Ice. Oh yeah, I haven't fought Lilith either. Lilith could be a fun one. I assume that Palace of the Deceiver would be around here. But Glacial Fissure. Okay, I'm gonna look it up. I actually can't find it. This is taking forever. I should have just done this from the beginning. Palace of the Deceiver. Okay, so apparently other people haven't been able to find it either. Big Belial isn't available until the boost vendor is enabled in 2 days. You can't fight Belial in the PTR. Okay, well, at least I know now that you can't find him. I kind of wish I knew what he would drop though. Also, I need some of these aberrant hearts. Oh, okay, I've got it. I can try to convert these Stygian stones into aberrant hearts so that I can at least try the Harbinger of Hatred fight and see what I get out of it. Okay. Blacksmith or this vendor?
See some steel you need?
Crafted items? No, that's blacksmith cache. Did they rework these blacksmith caches to actually be remotely useful? Like, you should straight up just get like a free like ancestral legendary out of them. Like, you shouldn't ever get anything less than ancestral legendary if that's how few materials you have. Or something like that. Because right now it's completely useless. Oh, I can transmute. Okay. Khosra horns. Oh, okay. I have a bunch of Khosra horns that I could use to craft other materials here. Malignant Heart, Concussion Ball, Shard of Agony. So, Aberrant Heart. And I can go for Harbinger's Den. Alright, give me a second. Okay. I actually should have just been spinning on Dance with Knives. That's faster than running normally. Alright. I just need to run this once so I know what this is for. I'm actually really close to the end, though. Trust me. I just need to put on the right equipment and get some Obdicite and basically ready. Oh yeah, there's like 2 phases to this fight too, or is it 3 phases? There's 3 phases on this one. Ouch. Oh, these ones actually hurt. Oh. All right. Well. Yeah, this fight is quite a bit tougher than the other ones, I admit. Or at least have to avoid getting hit by them. When I was in the Duriel fight, I just ignored Duriel, pretty much because I have so much survivability. But here I don't. I guess I can't afford to do that. I do have the damage because of my boss power, but yeah, it's a damage is a different story. To be able to survive. Okay. Oh yeah, my boss power is just doing their thing. Okay. They give us the option of either hitting these or the gateway. What if I aim for? Oh well, I mean, I guess the thing that was keeping that one up is gone. All right, there. Okay, so there's 3 phases to this, same as the Duriel fight. Anyway, okay, let me try to open the horde here. And does it allow me to choose what I get, or does it just force me to pick one or the other? No, I guess I can't choose. So I guess it's the Belial fight. I haven't done the Belial fight yet because it's not available on PTR. But if I were to do the Belial fight, I think that's the one where I actually get to choose which cache I get. Wind Forest Grasp of Shadows. Yeah, I just don't know how I get the Aberrant Hearts. I used up all the Aberrant Hearts, but I guess Urivar would drop the Aberrant Hearts. That would make sense, right? Fight Urivar, get Aberrant Hearts, and then I don't know if like these are picked up separately. Because Belial sometimes shows up, you fight him, you get his Betrayer's Husk, and then you take him on, like, Belial Supreme and Palace of the Deceiver, which is currently unavailable. Stygian Stone sometimes drops, and you can convert them into other boss mats, or you can sell them for apparently 1,000,000 gold. So, yeah. Sell value. Okay, probably because I have a bunch of these. Okay, pretty much done here. I'm gonna go back to Karagar. I'm gonna make some adjustments to my equipment, and then maybe do some Opticite farming really quickly, and I'm ready to go in to the pit for the last time, or last times in this case. So this is Retribution aspect. I'm gonna take a short break though, before I hit it hard. Yeah, I'll be back. Alright. So I gotta continue here. And I have... Okay. It's time for me to start switching my items around here. So, no... Well, I'm keeping Frostburns because I was gonna... Frostburn... Yeah, this is an item that I was going to talk about later. That was why. But for now, we have to replace my helm, I guess. Yeah,
There is magic in all things. Let me show
this is
you.
such a nice helm. It's too bad, really. I can put on Godslayer Crown. I get like 50% more damage out of that for 3 seconds. That could be nice. I think that's better than my current one. Ooh, I lose a lot of... lose a lot of my power there, though. Crowded Sage. Okay. If I ever have the re-imprint, which I don't think I will, but if I ever did, I would lose out on some of the roll there. Juggernaut's aspect, and then I would put on... Well, I am missing some armor with this setup, but what I could actually do is instead of concealment duration, now I can actually temper
Steel you need.
with total armor if it comes down to it. And this is my final setup. Yeah. Got total armor. I still could. I'm gonna try to roll for it. Might as well. Total armor. Dodge chance. That's not what I needed. On total armor, please. Why do they roll me dodge chance like 7 times in a row? Rolling me everything aside from total armor here. Just dodge chance, wow. That's too bad. I could run an Infernal Horde's Compass to get like a retempering scroll. I might actually do that in a second. But in the meantime, I'm gonna look through my gear here real quickly. Max resource. Damage reduction went unstoppable. When I come unstoppable, I gain 50 in my primary resource. Guess I could put it on, but I think my damage might actually go down overall because the damage roll on that was so low. I subbed out Inner Calm and I'm basically putting on a Tybalt's exchange. Yeah, well, at least I have a Tybalt. I can kind of talk about that later. When I kind of go over my equipment and all that. Alright, I'm gonna go do Infernal Horde Compass, really quickly. Yeah, why not? This is Torment 2. No, it should be Torment 3. Yeah. Alright. Running this for Obdicite, because I have a number of items that require some Obdicite. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. Yeah, I mean, I'm also running Godslayer Crown this time around too, so... Oh, wait, I just realized. When I switched out my helm, I'm now at 504 armor, because this is Torment 3, and the previous one that I was at was Torment 2, so I lost like, a pretty sizable amount of armor there. Maybe what I could do is replace my pants aspect with like Disobedience and just skip out on Tybalt's for now, because I didn't get like a high roll on it. I think that's what I might actually have to end up doing. Yeah. I really don't know what nerfs they're gonna do for the boss powers. That's the thing that worries me the most. etheric masses. I think. I swear another one will spawn. Alright. Hellfire. Need Hellfire. I can spawn Hellborn on those after. I'm lucky. Well, at least I don't need to run any more pit. Except for if I want to test my damage. Alright. Etheric masses here. Oh, I'm actually almost all out. Okay, that was like, what, 46? 46 ether? Not bad. We're like wave 2, right? Okay. This one. Okay, so I'm packing Godslayer crown this time around. I want to check something here. All in all, no. This can only occur once every 12 seconds, so unfortunately I can't. If there's like multiple bosses, can't kill them as quickly. But hey, who knows? Maybe when I actually fight the pit bosses, it could be kind of insane, especially with the boss power too. This will directly amp up my damage against bosses by like a lot. So I guess it's a good thing I got Godslayer crown. Okay. Aether Lords, Etheric Masses. Hellfire spawns Aether. Hellfire spawns Hellborn, and I get +1 Aether for Hellborns. Yeah. I don't think I've been coming across very many Hellborns. But maybe that's because I didn't select anything to do with Hellborns prior. Yeah. Really enjoy that Dance of Night Rogue is so mobile for this. Right. What shall I pick up here? Soul Spires, Grant Aether. Yeah, I think I should do that one. This one's kind of a dead roll. No Hellborns, unfortunately. Yeah, I like how I got a lot of like 10 wave Infernal Horde compasses. Or rather that I got any Infernal Horde compasses at all. It's kind of good. Yeah, I think that what's realistically going to happen though, like looking at the way the PTR is right now, they're gonna nerf the boss powers, but they're also gonna nerf how, well, they're gonna make it so that the monsters are weaker in the live servers as compared to the PTR. I can't imagine them keeping this level of difficulty. Well, I could imagine it, but I don't think too many people are gonna be happy about that. Like, no one's gonna reach Torment 4. If I'm struggling this much with this Dance of Knives, like the only build I was able, well, I mean, I've only done 2 characters so far, but with massive difficulty. Like, I've gotten 2 characters pretty much to Torment 4, and that's, in the case of Dance of Knives Rogue, that's with boss powers, and I've already sank like 20 hours. No one's gonna be in Torment 4 for like the entire season. It's, if they leave it as is, and that's not even factoring in how the boss fights themselves would go. Their fiends grant ether, soul spires grant 2 times ether. Okay, sure. I mean, it looks like it's gonna be all soul spires, and I still have yet to come across too many hellborns, so bad luck on the rolls. All right. Here we are. Exalted Hellborn, finally. I found this at last. Took long enough. Wait, where's my Frost Nova? Oh! Oh, I don't have the Frost Nova anymore because I took off the helm that had it. Oops. Yep. I don't know how else I'm gonna get armor, though. That's the other problem. Like, I swapped out my helm, but I have no extra armor as a result of that. And also, what are my resistances even at? Oh, my poison res took a nosedive too. Okay. Their fiends. Oh, infernal demon. Ether fiends grant +2 ether. Why not? I still have like another. Oh, I only have 3 waves. I should have done butcher, but whatever. I don't really, not getting as much ether as I'm used to. I think it's partly because I got like no infernal, or I got like no hellborns. That's probably why. There's the ether fiends. Ether fiends and hellborns. Not too bad, I guess. Did any hellborns even spawn? I don't know if I saw even a single hellborn in all this time. The hellfire is supposed to spawn hellborn here, and I straight up don't see any hellborns, which is kind of weird. Okay. All right. Almost done. Bursting Fiends. Okay, well, I mean, this one's a no-brainer, I think. Oh, I just realized too. I never did bother to put the last point in, did I? There we go. Now we have an additional 15% damage on my Dance of Knives. That's good. Oh, and Hellborn too. Yeah, this is how I know that my volley is doing all the damage. When my volley, for some reason, is deactivated, suddenly all my damage just disappears, or the majority of it, rather. I don't know why sometimes it disappears, though. Okay, oh, I still have one more? I thought that that was already wave 10. I guess I can do this one. 15 ether. Yeah. The one thing I don't know is, like, whether or not these gloves are better than my old ones. I think they are. I think they should be. But then I don't know about all the other adjustments I would have wanted to make. I'm not so sure about. Um, Chest armor, I'm happy with where it's at, but like Godslayer crown, I don't know if that's better than all the other options. Oh, 472 million. I think I saw an 800 million in there somewhere, but oh, Hellborn. All right. Yeah, it probably had to be masterworking, rank 8 out of 8, or 8 or higher, to clear Torment 4 is my bet. That's what it's looking like for this build. Gonna be a lot of grinding, but at least now I'm figuring this out. Like, at least I'm figuring this out now rather than later, I suppose. Okay. Spoils of greater equipment. I'm hoping for Scroll of Retempering. They give Scroll of Retempering? I thought it's usually like... Oh, I got 2 of them. Well, alright. I mean, I can only use 1 for my chest piece anyway, but I'll take what they give me, I guess. And then all remaining ether for Obdicite and Gem Fragments. That's a lot of fragments. And how much Obdicite did I get out of that? I got 1,000 Obdicite. That's plenty for what I needed, or for what I need it for. All right. Back to town. Okay, I think I have just about everything I need now. I'm gonna try Torment. Wait, no, it was Pit. I'm gonna try to run Pit really quick. I think it was Pit 45 that I was struggling to even hit the limit for. And then let's see how well that goes. Deadly Venom. Something like the imbuements. I don't need that. It's a shame. I could have used plus to core skills, but unfortunately, my Dance of Knives is not a core skill. So Stick with what I have. Dexterity, max life, increased strike damage. Yeah, that's another good one, but I'll salvage it and I'll put that aspect on something else. Okay, that should be a pretty big upgrade on True Sight aspect, I believe. Yeah, that's actually a pretty sizable increase to my damage. I'm going from 72% to 106% increased critical strike damage. And while Inner Sight is full, I gain 36. Now it's up to 53. So it's like 50% more damage on that. Okay. And then I can look at the rest of the items that I found. This can stay here, along with Lockrins and I'll salvage this, all of this. Right, Scroll of Retempering. Or it's called Scroll of Restoration, but I like to call it Retempering. Reset the charges on this. Trying to go for total armor, ideally. You're kidding. I'm actually going to roll... At this rate, I'm actually going to roll everything except for total armor. Oh, finally, yes. 15.5% total armor. And Juggernauts. Probably if I use this elixir, I'm okay for Torment 3, but for Torment 4, I'm going to be in some serious trouble. Okay. Fire. Resistance. Cold resistance. Yeah, alright. Need to find a way to get some more poison resist is the issue here. Some knives. Oh, yeah, I remember now. I'm supposed to masterwork this. It's too bad, really. I really do like these gloves, and they even give some poison resist too, but this is the way to really amp up my damage here. Or maybe I'll actually show, like, oh, let's re-roll that out. I have a fair bit of gold now. No. There we go, Forward of Marksman, Cutthroat skills. So that amps up my Dance of Knives damage. This is already rank 4, and I selected Dexterity, that's correct. This, I think I need to reset. Oh, nope, that was the wrong item. I could just put on Tybalt's too, but... Do I want Tybalt's over my current pants? I think my current pants technically worse, because even though they have Shadow Crash and Concealment cooldown reduction and max life and good amount of dexterity, the fire resist is actually pretty useless to me, since I have fire res pretty much everywhere else. Sure. This should be a direct damage boost on what on top of what I already have. Damage reduction while unstoppable. I mean, it's decent. Would have preferred dexterity, but I'll have to do. Also, I think is decent enough. Okay, add sockets on this, add sockets on this. And previously I had back Nur and Yak's Thull, so I'm gonna bring those back. Back Nur. Where's my Nurin? And then the next one was Yak's Thull. Okay. We did lose out on a substantial amount of dexterity here, I think. So if I switch these back around, My dexterity. Oh wow, that is a pretty sizable decrease in dexterity, but 3,110. Yeah, I'm losing like 600 dexterity here. 284, 345. I still think I get more damage from this setup overall, but I do lose out on a lot of survivability. All right. And I'm gonna try to use my potions one last time. Also, just reorganize as needed. All right. And I think I was trying for pit 45, right? Um, yeah, I want to see if I can even clear pit 45 comfortably and go from here. Yeah, so this is my damage with all of these adjustments. Like not using the boss powers and all that. Nope. These guys should be taking a lot of damage because they got hit by Godslayer Crown. Wow, this takes forever. Yeah, I don't know what to do here. Like, I was thinking that maybe masterworking stuff would make things a bit easier, but it still takes like such a long time to clear this. Arguably even longer than before. Yeah, the boss powers would take care of this so much more easily. There. And aren't I supposed to get some unstoppable? Yeah, there it is. So whenever my unstoppable is up, I do get some bonus damage from Tybalts and all that. It's supposed to be the case. Yeah, I feel like there's a slight damage increase, but it's still not anywhere near enough. Why does he have to go into barrier? I don't know how I would actually get this build up to Torment 4, to be honest. Like, I mean, I know how I would do it. You would just have to boost up. You would really just have to boost up your glyphs, get this legendary node, like, I think I'll end up talking about all that, and yeah. I think it should be alright, but, yeah, I'm glad I got a chance to try this all out, but, yeah, I think I'm done with my run. I'm gonna go hit pit 55 and just be done with it. I got a chance to look at everything I wanted to, so let's just finish things off here. Yeah, it's been a good run, but yeah, I guess the main takeaway from all this is that, well, this helm is kind of nice. I'm just debating whether or not I'd rather use the current helm, the Godslayer crown I have, or if I'd rather keep Juggernaut's helm, because my Godslayer crown would give me more damage every now and then on my boss power, but at the same time, At the same time, I do like the extra survivability on my helm here. I think I have to use my helm. Or maybe my pants would be okay, even. Yeah, but my poison resistance is tanked, though. That's the one thing I can't really solve, I would say. Maybe I could get, like, a better ring or something, though. That was the other thing I was supposed to adjust. I'm supposed to use an ancestral ring. I have so many ancestral rings, but none of them are, like, good. Actually, I take back what I said. This might be a good ring to use. This might well, actually, that might even way overcap me on my poison resistance. Uh, yeah, suddenly my cold resistance is down, but I guess it'll be okay. Yeah, it should be alright, because, I can still stuff, like, a royal sapphire in here, and I think that would kind of do the trick. Yeah, I have a bunch of these. Okay. Let me get a socket in here. Dexterity, max life, poison resistance. I mean, it's the same as what I had, but a little bit more. Quite a bit more poison resist. Worldly finesse. Critical strike damage. Subterfuge. I actually have two... or no, I have one more restoration scroll I can use. Subterfuge cooldown reduction, okay, I guess I didn't need it. And then get... What aspect did I put on this? Oh yeah, it was star shards. Alright. Oh, it's this one. Okay. 4, 5. So my resistances are pretty good. They're like more than maxed. Only thing I'm missing is armor, and in fact, I'm kind of tempted to sub out... If I use like a royal skull instead, is that even an option? Yeah, it actually is. I'm kind of wondering if I could... Yeah, I'd still wouldn't be able to hit the cap. Like, I need 1250 armor. I think it should be alright. If I put this on... Get rid of this. Godslayer crown and Tybalt's. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do the run real quick with this setup and see if it's any good. Because... I just want to see how high the damage goes now that I have all these items like Masterwork and all that. Oh, speaking of Masterworking, I haven't Masterworked this one. There we are. Max life. I'd like to roll for Dexterity ideally, but okay, there. Dexterity. Alright, I mean, I'm missing Dex on a number of my items, or like Dex GA, or like Masterworking roll, like this one, for example. I can actually sub this out. Nope. Masterworking. I can reset this now that I have enough gold for it and try again for a dexterity roll, but there we go, dexterity. So I have dexterity roll on most of my items except even for this. I still haven't found a better bow either. That's how sad this is. I would have preferred to roll for dex, but you know what? I'm gonna leave it as is because I'm scared that if I roll and I get the wrong modifier 2 times in a row, I might end up with like a useless one. Dance of Knives too. Is this... I'm like close to the cap. So, yeah, that's looking all fine and dandy. It's time to attempt Pit 55. I'm gonna do this as like a demo run for myself. just to see if I can survive. I'm gonna have like I'm not gonna have capped armor stat though, so I have a feeling I'm gonna struggle to stay alive. Um, my armor here, yeah, I'm reducing 40% damage rather than 85, so I'm definitely. Oh yeah, that's a lot of damage that I'm taking. At least the damage numbers look really good, but yeah, survivability issues. So I mean, instead of taking 15% of the damage that I'd normally be taking, I'd be taking 60% of damage. So I'm actually taking 4 times the amount of damage that I would be as compared to if I had like a maxed armor roll. I don't like this. I probably need to switch it back straight up. Yeah, the good news though is I have good amounts of damage. Yeah, alright. I'm gonna leave it. Tybalt for this. I think I can just go conceal myself and then get out of here. Yeah, okay. I'm glad that I got to test everything I wanted to, though. I'm quite happy with my results, and I'm looking forward to running my next one to Torment 4. It's gonna be on Blizzard Sorcerer. I'm gonna swap these really quickly. So my armor is like way over cap now. Well, that's actually okay because okay, I have 2 modifiers I don't need. Um, yeah, I can replace this with like another aspect. I was gonna run Disobedience, but I actually don't need it. I can throw on. Ooh, Victimize. Yeah, I don't use Victimize. Breaking Stealth heals me. No. It had to be Crowded Sage. Probably Crowded Sage. Increased dodge chance when I dodge, I fortify. That's another thing too. If it came down to it, if I needed fortify, then I could have used that. But I have actually so much DR that I just need to worry about armor. And then I think I'm like okay. Well, whatever. This is a pretty safe bet. I'm gonna leave it as is. Yak's Thull. Do I have another Yak's rune? Yak's Thull. I don't have another Thull rune. I have a back and a Nur. And then where's my Thull rune? There. Yak's Thull. Oh, did I not take it out? I think I left it in there. Okay, yeah, there. Okay, I'm ready to go pretty much. Oh, wait, no, there's one more thing that needs to be done. I have concealment duration on my helm. I'd like to switch that out for something else. So I think I ran out of tempers, right? So this is where the other restoration scroll is supposed to go. I can use this on my helm. There. Now I have. Wait, what? Why can't I? Why can't I retemper this? Did I already? No, I have 6 tempers. Okay. Oh, I just never bothered to. I just never bothered to re-roll it. Oh, I see. Because I wasn't sure what resistances I would end up needing. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, well. Or if I would even need total armor. Well, in this case, I would like natural resistance. Lightning is okay. Lightning is okay because that actually allows me to cap out my resistances. Get rid of this, and I'll craft a diamond. Ooh, I have enough for this. Okay, so now my resistances are pretty much all capped except for Shadow. I don't know why this one is, like, not quite capped. But, I mean, I guess that's fine. Sealant cooldown reduction, armor, Shadow Crash, and I can actually try to roll my helm really quickly. I already have enough lightning resist to be capped, so I can afford to reroll this. Reset masterworking ranks. And I'm gonna try for dexterity. And this is my last. Oh, okay. Well, it gave me lightning resistance like twice. Alright, this is my final setup for this run I'm about to do. I don't think there's much else to be said. I guess overall this would have still been better. I'd get more damage to this if I'm trying to max out my damage on my boss power. But I think I prefer having the marksman and cutthroat skills otherwise. Is kind of what it's looking like. Get attack speed and marksman damage. Yeah, that's pretty solid, honestly. Frostburn too. Yeah, I'll talk about all of these later at the end of the run, but this is pretty much the end of. Well, this is gonna be it. We've been at this for like 8.5 hours, so it's time for this one to meet its end. I have one of every potion that I need, and I didn't actually have enough bundled herbs to craft the last tier of potion, but I don't think I'm gonna end up needing it at this rate. Let's see if I can manage it. Oh, and hey, I have just enough to make it to my last healing potion. Alright. I'm only gonna need to run this once, I'm pretty sure, so I'm pretty confident that I only need one of each. And maybe like one in reserve. Yeah. This is the end. Boss powers wise, uh, this boss power has carried me. It still continues to carry me. But if it didn't, then I think the way to go about it is to just masterwork everything to rank 8 and to like unlock the last legendary node that I'm missing and then to like level up glyphs. Well, I'm actually missing this glyph too, or this node I realized. So that's actually a lot of damage I'm leaving out on the table, but yeah, I've tested what I needed to on this build, I think, so I have a pretty good idea as to um, what you would need to do to reach Torment 4. I've already proven that you can clear, like, Torment 3 pretty nicely with it. Just for good measure, I'm gonna run, like, Pit 40 without my power, just to show that, yeah, like, you can take on Torment 3 and do all this farming in Torment 3 pretty comfortably, I bet. If they nerf, even if they nerf the boss powers, and if they don't adjust anything on the PTR. Ooh, yeah, it does take some time though. Wow, this is actually a lot weaker than I expected it to be for Torment 3, but still. Yeah, you can still beat Torment 3, but you probably want to do most of your farming in Torment 2 with this level of power. Yeah, I can clear this. It's gonna take me like... It'll probably take me 7.5 minutes or so, I bet, judging by how far we made it so far. But it's doable. And then, of course, I'm still missing, like, 2 legendary nodes. So, up the legendary nodes, get the masterworking up, get better rolls on masterworking. I think I'm gonna mention that. I gotta write that down before I forget. Yeah, here I'm already like I'd say like a quarter of the way after like the first minute and a half. So like, yeah, it'll take me 6 minutes to clear this, and then maybe another 2 minutes to clear the boss. All right, well, yeah, it's been fun, but I've gotten a chance to look at everything I needed to. I'm gonna leave the game. I'm gonna come back so that I get rid of all my buffs, and then when I get back here, I can kind of I'm gonna mute myself, and um, I'm just gonna go over my equipment before the final uh push here. Oh, I actually forgot to put on my boss power. I'm gonna go back and do that real quick while I write this down. Okay, gonna leave and I'm gonna come back. Actually, wait, that was unnecessary. I could have just stayed. Ah, well, whatever. All right. I'm gonna mute myself. I'm gonna write down some notes for myself, and then I'm gonna begin my run of Pit 55. Let me just make sure that all my powers are where they're at, or where they need to be. Okay, I think I'm pretty much good to go. So, I'll catch you all later then, when we finish this run.
hope whatever's here puts up a good fight.
Thanks. Farewell.
Right, so now that we're finished with this run, I can kind of talk about how the build has operated. I guess I can just level these really quickly. Might as well. Well, actually, I'll save it for uh when I do my build overview. Little yeah, my little segment regarding that. Hmm. Yeah, so all right. I have most of my notes down, I think. Um I don't know what else there is to say. I cleared pit 55. Normally I'd be a lot more I'd feel a lot more sense of accomplishment and it would reflect in my voice, I think, but I think with this particular run that I've just done, the majority of the damage came from well, I knew I was going to be able to clear it. I didn't know how long it was going to take, but I knew it was clearable for sure. And I also knew that the vast majority of my damage would come from my 600 million damage volley. I really do think that this season they got to tone it down. I think they got to tone down the difficulty of Torment 4, getting up to there. They actually overshot by quite a bit, I think. And they overshot how strong these boss powers are because right now, like everything in the chat, um, you are talking about like yeah, the majority of damage that people are pumping out are from boss powers. I think at least that's the from what I saw from others. It's kind of cool that others are trying to figure out like which builds to use and all that. But at the end of the day, I think somebody in the in-game chat wrote that it's going to be a classless season. I'm inclined to agree because really the season's going to be about who can abuse these powers the hardest. At least that's kind of the direction we're headed right now. I don't know if that's their intention, but We'll see what happens. Anyway, is there? I mean, as far like, I guess I could talk a little bit about the run. Honestly, yeah, getting into pit 10 is pretty trivial. As long as you have decent items and decent weapons. Well, it's mostly just weapons. As long as you have decent weapons, you'll be able to clear pit 10. So like 750 item power weapons will cover you there. I think to clear, or sorry, I say pit 10, but I mean let's just say Torment 1, right? To break into Torment 1, you need like 750 item power weapons, or I mean those help, right? When you're trying to get into Torment 2, I was able to do it on all 750s, but I realized I also had my boss powers with me. I did have all of the tempering recipes. I had all of like I had to make sure that on Torment 1 I got all the tempering recipes before I went any further. I tried to make sure that every item that I had was at least a 750 item power. I think that this season that's going to be a necessity. Um, by the time you make it to Torment 3, every single item you have should either be ancestral or a unique at that point, or 750 item power unique. That's really it. Like I don't think that there's much wiggle room this season as compared to like last season. Last season you could run whatever pretty much and still get through the game without too much trouble. I'm exaggerating a bit, but you, you know it's nowhere near as difficult in the current season as it was as it's going to be next season. Um, yeah, and then Torment 4. Well, the thing is, to get from Torment 2 to Torment 3 was already a struggle when I have all Masterwork rank 4 items and with like good uniques and whatnot. I can only begin to imagine uh, what it's going to take to clear a Torment 4 pit with this build at least, assuming that the boss powers get nerfed into the ground or something, and if they don't touch the scaling, which I'm pretty sure is not going to be the case. I'm pretty sure they're going to like rescale. They're gonna like try to make things easier because the game right now, like I actually enjoy the challenge personally. Aside from I think the boss fights are gonna be very painful, but I enjoy the game right now because it's so challenging, like quite a quite a bit. But I would be perfectly okay seeing the difficulty of the game get toned down. I would still enjoy myself a lot. But I think other people are going to struggle a lot with trying to reach Torment 4. I suspect a lot of people might actually end up even giving up before they reach Torment 4 because it's actually just such a huge gap. Even getting from Torment 2 to 3 was kind of difficult. Um, yeah, but I think if I could sum up the season journey, aside from, or not season journey, but if I could sum up my Torment 1 to 4 journey, minus going over my items and gear, which I'll talk about separately in a minute or two, and I'm gonna have to record that, right? Um, Going from Torment 1 to 2, wait, no, going from level 60 to Torment 1, you should have 750 item power weapons. Going from Torment 1 to 2, you should have 750 item power everything with maybe a couple of ancestral items, preferably on your weapons, right? To go from Torment 2 to 3, you pretty much need everything to be ancestral by that point, or unique, and to have some master working. Um, Worth noting that when I say to break into Torment 3, I'm just talking about the bare minimum to make it into Torment 3. I'm not even talking about farming. I wouldn't farm Torment 3 ever with this level of equipment. I would pretty much be glued to Torment 2 because like all the damage that I'm doing is coming from my boss power right now. And then from Torment 3 to 4, that's a true journey. Like I would need like multiple master working rank 8 out of 8, or well, 8 ranks, maybe 12 ranks. Every single item should be ancestral legendary. And oh, you know what I didn't even get to mention? I'm missing 2 legendary nodes. Um and 2 of my glyphs are non-legendaries too. So there is quite a bit of room for growth. It's not like this build is hopeless without any sort of without the boss powers. I just think that having the boss powers expedites the process immensely. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents regarding the end of this run. My apologies that this took longer than I thought it would, but I really did want to test everything and make sure that I had some thoughts regarding how the overall build plays out. So, I'm gonna be right back really quickly. When I return, I'm just gonna go over my build on the Pit 55 clear, and we'll go from there. Yes. All right. So, see you all momentarily. Hey, what's going on? It's Inventor here, with my build overview for the Dance of Knives Rogue for the Diablo 4 Season 8 PTR. I just finished making it into Torment 4 by clearing Pit 55, as we can see here. And I'm going to be upfront here. The boss powers are pretty insane, and so far it's doing about 99% of the damage on my build at the moment, so I'm pretty sure they're going to be nerfed. Nerfed by how much, I'm not sure, but still, I'd be very surprised if they didn't get nerfed. So, what would we need to set up this Dance of Knives rogue? Well, the Dance of Knives rogue that I have here, if you care for the items rather than the powers, we have this helm here. It's got Dex, Max Life, and Armor with Crowded Sage aspect. Honestly, you could replace this defensive aspect with whatever. That's not too important. I use this Juggernaut's aspect on my chest armor, though, which provides enough armor that it will help me cap out my armor. Obviously, I want to have 1,000 armor going into this run. And I actually just noticed that my incense is about to wear off, so this is perfect timing. Yeah, I use incense too to help cap out my armor and resistances. My resistances are very close to capped for everything. I just am missing a bit of shadow resistance, but you get the idea. So this chest armor, dexterity and max life, of course, are very important. Dex for damage and max life is life. My third modifier here, I use resistance to all elements because that helps me cap out resistances, and total armor obviously helps with armor. Grasp of Shadow, well, here's where the build gets a little more interesting. This provides attack speed, which directly helps Dance of Knives, and it gives +2 marksman and cutthroat skills, and Dance of Knives itself is a cutthroat skill, so this Grasp of Shadow helps the damage of Dance of Knives in at least 2 ways. It also has this kind of cool unique, but it's the other modifiers that I care about more in this case. Here, a similar situation, Dex, Max Life, Fire Resist, Concealment cooldown reduction is nice, and Shadow Crash. Shadow Crash passive is this one. On Lucky Hit, I get a chance to stun. That helps me stagger bosses, and, well, even just regular monsters, which allows me to get extra damage to crowd-controlled enemies bonuses from them. And I also put a Resistant Assailant. This one is nice because if I kill an elite, then I can reset Concealment, although it's not really all that necessary, but it's helpful. Then there's these boots, Dexterity, Max Life again, but also Dance of Knives, more damage there. Movement speed helps a lot with being able to run around and reset my Dance of Knives charges. Yeah, you can see here if... Well, I don't have any charges of Cutthroat, but if I did, then yeah, I'd be at like 200%, right? And also, I put on Nebulous Bruise because it allows me to get healing potions. The reason I need healing potions is because I have a passive which gives me more damage when I activate a healing potion. Also, I'm using the Yax rune as a trigger for Frost Nova. So if I drink healing potion... if I do drink a healing potion, I get if I drink 2 healing potions, then I get Frost Nova, which gives Freeze Invulnerable. I mean, I already apply Vulnerable, but Freeze is the big one. So, yeah, then as far as runes are concerned, I also have Back Rune and Nur Rune. Back Rune is every time I travel 5 meters, and then Nur Rune is I get Concealment. This is kind of nice because it keeps providing me Unstoppable. It's not like I can snapshot the stealth and just be like permanently stealthed or anything like that. But what I can do is get Unstoppable, which effectively prevents me from getting CC'd most of the time from if there's any kinds of effects that would knock me out of Dance of Knives. So, yeah, then we have Aspect of Stolen Vigor here on my crossbow. Not a very good roll on the crossbow. I would have preferred GA on Dexterity, but perhaps more importantly, we have a Dance of Knives to deal double damage and an extra 94% damage here, multiplicative damage from the aspect itself. The Amulet, similar situation. We have, if I use an agility skill, sorry, wait, no. It's if I use a subterfuge skill, that being concealment, then I get 63% more damage, multiplicative. And on top of that, I also have a GA dexterity and attack speed roll, so this is pretty amazing. And just as icing on the cake, extra movement speed and crit strike damage. Um, Here, I'm missing GA roll on dex, but otherwise, some poison resistance and subterfuge, cooldown reduction and crit strike damage. Star Shards aspect is pretty good because it gives me a lot of extra AoE, and it also helps me. Well, if I were using combo points, it would help me keep up my Dance of Knives charges, but really it's just, since I don't have combo points on this build, it's really just the first half of the aspect that we need. Aspect of elements, along with Dex, Max Life, and Resistance. So the extra damage here, it like alternates, but whenever it is set to physical, I get more damage on my Dance of Knives, and also the extra fire damage helps my boss power here. And then I have this one, again, didn't get the GA roll on Dex, but still got a lot of crit strike damage, chance to deal double damage, and retribution. This is another reason why I wanted that Shadow Crash passive, because yeah, if monsters are stunned, then I deal 30% more damage to them. Never mind the crowd controlled damage as well. This is a nice 30% boost to stunned monsters and to staggered bosses. And then we have Barbed Sword of True Sight. This is a pretty interesting one. I get more crit strike damage to enemies marked by Inner Sight, and if Inner Sight is full, I gain 53% increased damage. It's actually a pretty massive boost whenever Inner Sight is active. It will sometimes select a monster, and then suddenly they take a ton more damage from this aspect, and I'm always doing a critical strike, because with Concealment and Shadow Imbuement, well, mainly Concealment in this case, I get a guaranteed crit strike for the entire duration of Dance of Knives. This is particularly useful against bosses, because a lot of bosses are by themselves. They might spawn monsters here and there, but if it's just the boss by themselves, then I'm getting a lot more damage on them when I trigger Inner Sight, or when I have them marked. So that's the item build I have. I have alternatives, though, that I wanted to talk about. I took the time to playtest some of the other options just to see how well they performed. So one of the items that I had was Tybalt's. My current pants are okay, but I would have preferred to get like an ancestral unique Tybalt's with a max roll on the damage. Here I would have actually switched over to Tybalt's if not for the fact that I rolled, well, 10% on these, but I kept them just so I could show you, the viewer, what I would have preferred to use. The reason why this is so useful is that you get increased damage while unstoppable and for 5 seconds after, because you'll be using back Nur in this case. The Nur rune pretty much perpetually gives me unstoppable, and along with Tybalt's, this is essentially a 20% multiplicative damage boost all the time if this were a high roll on Tybalt's, but I didn't get a high roll, so I kept my ancestral pants because I felt like those would be better. So that's Tybalt's. Godslayer crown. Now this one is a little bit less important, I would say. It does have 48% increased damage, but it only happens once every 12 seconds. You could make the argument to use this. Well, and my current helm, I put Juggernaut and it rolled GA armor, which was very helpful in helping me reach the cap. So that's why I kept my legendary helm. But if you didn't have a helm like the one I have right now, then Godslayer crown is fine too. The 48% damage also works really nicely against bosses, because you could combo that with this volley and get a lot more damage for a brief period of time. So that's for Godslayer Crown and Tybalt's. So for gloves, I like Grasp of Shadow. You get a lot of damage out of it, but if for some reason you weren't able to find Grasp of Shadow, then you could just use any plain ancestral legendary that has a GA dex ideally, and then you could put like some aspect on this. I have retribution on this one right now, but I would have used inner calm since, or I would have re-imprinted like inner calm onto that because I already have retribution here. I still think grasp of shadow is just way better because it would give you +4. Well, I mean, I have a master working roll on this, but it would be base +3 to Dance of Knives and plus attack speed, which are very helpful. So that's for the gloves. Oh, yeah. Another argument could be made for Frostburns too. This one's a high roll Frostburns that I found. I just want to show this really quickly because if I use this, it could actually amp up the damage on my volley. So depending on how you want to build your guy, you can... Well, okay, hold on a second, because Aspect of Elements is popping that I can't see the exact damage. 270k versus this. Hold on. I need to give it a second. Okay, so normally it's 270.5k. If I switch it, it would be 389k. I don't know how accurate those damage numbers are in this case, but the point I'm making here is that, yeah, if for some reason you wanted to really make the boss power strong, then yeah, you could just use Frostburn instead. So that pretty much covers all of my gear. I did talk about the runes for them already. That's good. Also, yeah, for the sockets, I'm using crit strike damage on my weapons, and then I'm using single gems to round out my resistances. And then, of course, my armor, I am using emeralds for dexterity. So that covers my items, and also what you could use to substitute in for them, and like different ways you could fill around with that. So now moving to the boss powers. Speaking of the boss powers, right? We were just talking about Frostburn and boss powers and all that. I'm using Harbinger of Hatred's Volley. Like I said, this is doing the vast majority of my damage, but I suspect this will get nerfed. So I do still think it's pretty important for me to discuss. It's still very important for me to discuss like what items you need in case you need to farm for this power, or farm to rank this power up, or if this gets nerfed into the ground and you actually need to make a proper Dance of Knives rogue, then you actually know what you're looking for. So, Harbinger of Hatred's Volley, this does damage, like a lot of fire damage, and it does even more damage to vulnerable enemies. You're always applying vulnerable on Dance of Knives, so very good synergy there. Wandering Death's Chest Beam. So this modifier allows you to execute monsters with less than 30% life. This one's also supremely helpful. This is a great modifier because basically whatever monsters you're going up against, you just need to take out 70% of their life, and then your boss power will finish them off. I don't know if they're going to end up nerfing this one, like the modifier on this, but whatever the case, even if they tone it down a little bit, it's still very helpful, right? This one too, I don't know if this needs an explanation. The thing about this build is it doesn't, the skills themselves don't use the resource that the rogue has, which is energy. So this boss power would eat up all of our energy. I have 130 here, right? And it does 2% per point, so that's like an extra 260% more damage on the volley, right? And this is rank 6. I haven't even ranked it up any higher. It could go even higher than this, but yeah. So this is a pretty big source of damage too. But obviously, if I get inner sight, then... Oh, yeah, right. I don't actually regen energy that quickly. Like, I would drain out my energy to buff up the volley, and then I would not have that much energy for a while, except because I have inner sight. Whenever I have inner sight, I get unlimited energy, right? It'll basically bring my energy back up to full. So this will drain out all my energy, then eventually inner sight will go off, and then bring me back to full energy, and then the process repeats. This will supercharge my volley again, and so on. And then, of course, Taurus Rage. The reason I'm using this is because of the attack speed boost. I have a lot of damage to crowd control enemies from my Paragon board, so this allows me to get an attack speed boost. The way that works with Dance of Knives is that, um, written on the skill, it increases damage done rather than number of knives thrown. It doesn't say by how much, though, on the skill, but it is a pretty sizable and noticeable difference. So that's for the boss powers. Specialization's already covered Inner Sight. The crit strike chance is pretty irrelevant because the crit strike is going to be coming from concealment anyway. Abilities, um, as usual, I'm not going to cover every single point that I've put in, but I use Puncture. I don't have it on my bar right now, but that's because I haven't yet unlocked this legendary node. But at some point, you would have that on your bar, something like this. Puncture, yeah, there. So then you would use Puncture to boost the damage of Dance of Knives by like 25% multiplicative. So yeah, that's for Puncture. Obviously maxed out Dance of Knives here. I got Concealment for the guaranteed crit strike chance. Shadow Imbuement is very helpful for AoE, and it's just free damage. Oh, and it also applies Vulnerable, because why not? And then, of course, the key passive Momentum gives me pretty much a little bit of everything. Increased damage, movement speed, and all that good stuff. Paragon board, I'm running 3 legendary nodes at the moment. Those being Chip, which increases physical damage, Headhunter, which is increased damage to elites, and Versatility. Ooh. Ooh, that's kind of a bad look, actually. I didn't realize, but I actually don't have the additional bonus on this. It's this one. Okay, that's pretty bad. I'm supposed to have the additional bonus on this, Dexterity. Yeah, okay, so I was actually missing 70, or an extra 25% more damage on my Dance of Knives, but let's just pretend that was there. So, yeah, we have 3 glyphs with a lot of extra damage. This one's a pretty big chunk of damage, right, to my Dance of Knives, and it's free. And it also boosts, like, damage to elites and damage to healthy enemies, too, so very helpful. This glyph is not at legendary grade yet, but it still provides me an extra 20% damage to stunned or frozen enemies, and I stun and freeze enemies pretty often, or even stagger for bosses. And then, of course, we have Pride, just a plain 13% increased physical damage, which also helps Dance of Knives specifically. But of course, I could have used something like this instead if I wanted to get more generic damage for all of my skills, or all of my damage, which would include the boss powers. So, yeah, those are for the glyphs. As for the boards, well, yeah, I have Dance Macabre. This one is a no-brainer. If I use a subterfuge skill, so in this case concealment, then I get 75% more damage on my Dance of Knives. Nothing much more to be said there. This legendary node is Cheap Shot. For every, like, if I stagger a boss, then I get 25% more damage. Tricks of the Trade, I don't have this unlocked yet, but I would be working towards this. I would get 25% more damage from Puncture if I use that, and then I use Dance of Knives after. And then finally, Exploit Weakness, I would work towards this too. Whenever I hit vulnerable enemies, and pretty much everything will be vulnerable with this build, then I get more damage, and that bonus lasts for quite some time. So, yeah, that's how my build is operating. Oh, and of course, Mercenaries too. Skills, I'm using Rahir primarily for the 15% resistance to all elements. Previously, I was using Subo because I wanted to know where all the monsters were for speed farming. Bastion and Inspiration occasionally gives me increased damage, so you can never go wrong with Rahir, but I'm sure that there are other mercenaries you could use, but they wouldn't be providing you with 15% resistance to all elements. Field of Languish, kind of helpful. I combo that with if I get hit by a CC effect. That way, it helps me stay alive because this would reduce their damage by a little bit. So, yeah. That pretty much covers the build. But this time there's one more thing I wanted to talk about. uh, which is how to improve the build. So hypothetically, if we were to get rid of this boss power, right, and like I would actually be stuck in Torment 3 at the at the farthest. I actually went and tried this. This is like a pretty massive damage boost, right? If I were still stuck in Torment 3, there are a number of ways I could boost my build to try to push for Torment 4. So the obvious one, all my boss powers can go up to rank 20. So I would be buffing up my boss powers to try to see how high they could go. Um, so boss powers are one way to boost your damage. The items that I have themselves, well, I have all my items as ancestrals, or at least the legendaries are ancestrals, but most of these are just 1 GA or perhaps even the wrong GA. In the case of, let's say, like my crossbow here, I would have preferred it on dexterity, right? The same thing goes with the masterworking roll, would have been nice on dexterity too. But also my uniques are, well, I guess my one unique is non-ancestral, so that could be improved as well with a GA roll on marksman skills too. Paragon boards, like I just showed, my 2 glyphs are not legendary here. I'm missing 2 legendary nodes, and I could keep ranking up my glyphs because I just hit 46 and I left it at that, but I could obviously keep going. Finally, masterworking. I have only 4 ranks so far on every single piece of equipment. If you were to try to break into Torment 4 and they keep the level of difficulty as it is right now, you should be aiming for rank 8 or perhaps even rank 12 on everything, of course. So that is how you could build your character, and in this case, how I could have improved my build. So far, next season is shaping up to be much, much tougher than the previous season, so I do expect that the developers might reduce the difficulty when the season goes live, especially with the number of people complaining about that right now. But if they don't, then please don't be surprised if the advice I'm providing here is not enough. Here's what I have written down as my minimum for when the season goes live. So to get from level 60 to Torment 1, 750 item power weapons should be enough. From Torment 1 to Torment 2, 750 item power gear with ancestral weapons should be okay. Torment 2 to Torment 3, every item should be either an ancestral or a unique. Like this one here, of course. With at least rank 4 masterworking on everything, as you can see on my character right now. And all of your glyphs should be legendary with all legendary nodes unlocked. Now you can see that, yeah, well, I guess you can't see, but I was able to clear a pit 40 without the boss power, even without having all the legendary nodes and glyphs, but I genuinely think that, yes, you should have all of your powers, or all of your legendary nodes and glyphs available before you attempt to tackle on Torment 3. And then finally, from Torment 3 to Torment 4, yeah, do make sure you have your boss powers maxed out. Do make sure that you have the Ancestrals with the right rolls. And then, of course, rank 8 or maybe even rank 12 Masterworking on the right, on the correct modifiers, of course, for every item. And when I say every item, I mean like, uh, if you get to rank 8, then you might want to select Dexterity twice on an amulet, and then your last roll can be pretty much whatever, because, good luck trying to get 3 rolls of the same modifier that you actually need. Oh, and of course, Mythics. I mean, this is a nice helm, but if I were to get, like, Air of Perdition, or even, say, Harlequin Crest, I would gladly switch over. So, that pretty much covers it. That's pretty much everything, and speaking of upgrading glyphs, you can see here, now that I've finished my run, I can upgrade some of my glyphs, so yeah. That pretty much covers it. Hope you learned something new. This is my Dance with Knives Rogue, and this is for Diablo 4 Season 8 PTR, going into Season of Bosses. Thanks everyone for watching. Adventure out. Alright, that's enough for me. We're at our end, so I don't really have anything else to say. I spent the last half hour already talking about everything that I would have possibly wanted to. I'm gonna end it here. Oh, wait a second, I went to the wrong town. Oops, I was supposed to go to Karagar. I'm gonna go to Kiovashad, and then, yeah, we're gonna switch it to Torment 4, as is tradition, and then I will drop my stream, and get to uploading my, Pit 55 run. Hope you enjoyed the run, everyone. And yeah, it's been a fun journey, but we're gonna move to Torment 4, and then we're gonna delete this character and start it all over again with the next character, which is probably gonna be the Blizzard Sorcerer. So, hope you enjoyed the run. Thanks everyone for watching. Adventure out.